Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on health programs and medical careers in Australia. On behalf of Rec Campus, I would like to thank you, all of you who join us with us today. Before we start, let me briefly introduce who we are. I hope you can see my screen. We are Rec Campus, and under Rec Campus umbrella, there are few branches. We have Russian Education Center, where we handle all the medicine universities, Russia, Belarus, and others. And we have Study Abroad, where we handle Australia, UK, Canada visa processes. And we are the official information center for Gomez State Medical University. And also we are the official information center for Grodno State Medical University. And we are in partnership with EDGAR International Platform. And we have replacement and so on. And the Rec Campus, we are established in 1996, and we have been in this field for 28 years now. And we recruit students from many more countries. We recruit more than 600 students per year. And I'm proud to announce that we are the #1 foreign medicine education provider in Sri Lanka. And we are sole representative for many more universities. And we have so many destinations. We recruit students for Australia, Canada, UK, Nepal, Malaysia, Latvia, Russia, Belarus, so on. This is our chairman and founder, Dr. Rasan Thamirkon, who worked as a doctor in the Ministry of Health, Sri Lanka for many years, and currently running 2 medical practices in Australia. I'm glad to welcome you here today with us, doctor. And we have so many options, not only medicine, engineering, management, tourism, aviation, you name it, we have all the options. And we represent world recognized universities. Especially when it comes to the medicine, we represent SLMC recognized universities. As I mentioned, we have 28 years of excellence in this field. And we get direct admissions to the universities, and we have super friendly staff who will be gladly assist you 24/7. And we have do documentation handling part behalf of you, and we have special offers, scholarships, education loan pathways, all the assistance. And we have pre-medical programs, language classes, and IELTS preparation classes for free of charge for our students. Not only that, we have other assistant programs such as pre-departure assistant programs, airport pickups, accommodation arrangements, annual parents gathering, so on. And especially, I would like to announce that we are in partnership with EDGAR International, where you can get prepared for medical licensing exams, especially MC. You'll be hearing more about this throughout this webinar. And you can contact us. We are located in Halver Road, Nugegoda. You contact us on our hotline. This is us, and we are, as I mentioned, in this field for 28 years now. And thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And without further ado, I would like to start our webinar, and I would like to invite our first speaker, Mr. Chirag Chandrasena, International Recruitment Specialist, Australian expert, to talk about studying Australia and current updates on student visa rules and all that. Mr. Chirag, over to you.
Thanks, Chamali. Let me share my screen. Chamali, can you post this presentation? Thank you. I hope you can see my screen. Thank you very much, Shamali, for introducing me and also giving this chance. So, ApplyBoard, we are a B2B partner. We connect universities with partners like Rec Campus. So, we represent many destinations, and Australia is one of them. So today I'm going to talk about a few points about the higher education in Australia, especially in the field of health. And I'm going to talk about why Australia and why you should select Australia as a start destination, and also the universities and the programs, and then the application process. At the end of the session, we can, if you have any questions, we can discuss them. So why Australia? Australia, briefly, if we talk about the geometric, the Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane are considered as the main cities, and all the other states and territories are considered as regional. So Tasmania, Australian Capital Territory, Northern Territory, South Australia, Western Australia, as a state or territory, those are called regional areas. And Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland is called major cities. But in these major cities, there are some designated regional area. That means towns little bit away from Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, which are again considered as designated regional areas. So why these regional areas matters is, if you're going to a regional area, you will get an additional post-study work, right? When you, complete your education in Australia. So I'll talk about a bit more about, the numbers of the visa grants during 2018 till now. So if you can see this slide from 2018 to 2024 June 30th, year by year, if you take the higher education sector, you can see 2018 close to 3,500 visa grants. Again, 2019, 2,500 visa grants. Then 2020 and 21, where COVID affected the whole world, the numbers became a little bit less. And again, in the last year, 5,824 visas. This year, till June, 5,141 visas. So you may have, heard some rumors in the industry saying that, the Australia is little limiting international students. Australia is not welcoming international students, which is not true. Because Australia wanted a sustainable growth in the industry. They don't want more than they can accommodate. That's why there are some new changes in the rules, and I will explain these rules in a next few slides. So if you take the visa success rate in the higher education sector, you can see Sri Lanka has been always in the range of 90 up and down. So this year it's 88.5. This is one of the best visa success rate when you consider in English-speaking countries. I think the higher than only higher visa success rate than this is the UK, which you do not find stay back options like PR options after the studies. But if you take the regional South Asia as a region, you can see Pakistan visa success rate is 41, Nepal is 56, India is 67%, and only Bangladesh is higher than us. So when it comes when it considered as a South Asia region, only Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are doing well, and all the other countries are a little bit less when it comes to the visa success rate. That's why you may be hearing a lot of these, rumors going on that, visa success rate is low, students getting visa refusals, and so on. So why Australia? I will talk about these points one by one. So in 2021 report released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, 48.2% of the Australians' parents born overseas. That means someone who came to Australia as an immigrant now became a citizen. And 27.6, that means 1 out of 4 were born outside Australia. That means someone who's not Australian came to Australia and then became a citizen. So you can see these numbers that Australia is welcoming immigrants. Australia is welcoming international students and skilled workers. That's why, even though there are some restrictions, still the numbers the visa grants are high. And Australia is the 12th largest economy in the world, contributing 22.2 trillion to the world's economy. And it's the third most popular destination for international students in the English-speaking countries. And in the top 10 cities to study in the world, you can see Melbourne and Sydney, the most popular study destinations in Australia is within top 10. And if you see, like, you can see all the other famous study destinations within top 40. So that means Australia is a safe place for international students. It's a welcoming place for international students. And also there are quality education, quality lifestyle in these cities for international students to study and keep their education success. Graduate employability, one of the, the best factors in Australia, like undergraduate students who complete their undergraduate degree, and 86% of these students will get their first job within 4 months after the graduation. This is a little bit less because some of the students, they go to the higher education after their bachelor's. But if you see the postgraduate employability, it's 96% after 4 months of their graduation. And also the average salary for undergraduate is 61,000. For postgraduate, it's 83,000. So when you consider the return on investment in Australia, usually the course fee will be ranging from 30 to 40,000. Let's say it's 35,000 for a rough figure. So if you go for a 2-year master's program in Australia, you will spend around 70,000 for the course fees. And if you, gain the minimum amount of post-study work, right, that is 2 years, easily you can earn that tuition fee in your first year. And in the second year, you can easily recover your living cost and your other expenses. And if you get, going to a regional area, you will get 3 years of post-study work, right, where you will get, you can earn more than what you have spent in Australia. These are some new updates since last September. So they have revised the living cost requirement because after COVID, most of the countries expected growth in their expenses. So the living cost was revised to 29,710 AUD per annum. And for spouse, it's 10,394. For a child, it's 4,449 Australian dollars. So anyone who's going to Australia as a student visa, they have to show this living cost as a part of their visa application and the university application. Also, from last July 1st, students can work 48 hours per fortnight. That means 24 hours per week. And the minimum pay in Australia is $23 per hour. So nobody in Australia, no employee can pay less than $23 per hour. And again, they have implemented an age cap for the post-study work, right, which is 35 years old. Like they have to apply for the post-study work, right, by 35 years, which is previously 50 years. And only 10% of the students will affected from this rule, because Australia, even before this rule changes, we did not promote mature students for Australia. So now student has to start their program at least by 32 in order to finish their masters by 34, then apply for the post-study work, right? But the masters by research and the PhD students, they can still apply till 50. Those are not included in this cap. So this affected 10% is actually less than that. Also, this is the post-study work, right, duration for the students who are going in the student visa stream. So undergraduate and postgraduate taught programs, you will get 2 years of post-study work, right? PhD and Masters by Research, you will get 3 years of post-study work, right? And also the regional benefits will remain same. That means if you're going for a regional area, you will get additional post-study work, right? Minimum English language requirements was introduced by the immigration. So now no university can accept students who are less than IELTS 6.0. But this is nothing to worry about because this was the practice for all the higher, the universities and the higher education sector in Australia. It was just regulated, but this has been there since the early days. And the new genuine student criteria. So previously it was GTE, genuine temporary entrant. Now it was replaced by this genuine student requirement. So now students, like the immigration is more focused. They have explained what they are really looking at this international students, and you can easily justify your application, visa application by answering these 4 questions asked in the visa application. So in this 4 questions, in the first question, you have to explain about your family, your employment, your education, and your circumstances in your home country. And the second and third question, you have to explain why you're selecting Australia and this particular program and this particular university for your higher education. And then the fourth question, the last question, your intention to return to Sri Lanka, like your home country, will be explained. And this is the most recent news you might have heard. The Australia is limiting international students. That might be the news that you have received. That was the news actually distributed by some news agencies, like some TV presentators, because they didn't know the actual the numbers and the these cap details. So the total number of caps was reduced by 16% to 270,000 students for the 2025 year. But most of the Sri Lankan students, they do apply for these public universities, where only 1% of reduction from the last year numbers. Private universities and non-university higher education providers are allocated 30,000 international students, and vocational education and training was allowed 95,000 international students. So the private universities and the non-university higher education providers were mostly affected, but public universities are less affected. And even within these public universities, the most affected universities are the G8 universities, where they recruited more than 50% of their the approved number with the international students. But this cap will not affect for the school students, that mean kindergarten to grade 12, and the standalone English programs are not affected, but these two we are not focusing that much. And also the higher degree by research, that means masters and PhD programs, will not be affected by this student cap. And also student Australian TNE program, that means the Australian partner universities outside Australia will not affected by this student cap. So if you take example, so for Griffith University, they recruited 3,100 students last year. That means 2020 for July. But the number allocated for them for 2025 is 3,800, which is more than what they have recruited last year. So some universities, like most of these universities, will have higher number of cap, where they can recruit more international students for the next 2025. And this is a temporary number. And in 2025, it's only for 2025. So in 2026, these numbers will be again revised if the universities can accommodate more international students. So you may think why this was implemented, right? Because Australia, they are well recognized for their quality education. They don't want more international students than they can accommodate for this higher education sector. imagine you have since most of you are, doctors, I will take example as in hospital, you have 200 beds and you take 300 patients to your hospital. So everyone will feel uncomfortable. You won't be able to give them the proper quality attention and the, treatments for these excess number of patients. So that is the exact reason that Australia wants to limit these numbers, mainly because some of the private education providers, they took more than they can accommodate. So these international students, they were facing so many problems, like accommodation and, housing, and also, other facilities like part-time jobs and everything. So they have introduced the most sustainable number for 2025. And if the education providers can accommodate more in next year, they can revise those numbers. So what you can do to avoid, being penalized from this student cap, you can apply as soon as possible, because since the cap numbers are given to these universities, they will start recruiting students from this January 1st, 2025. So if you apply as early as possible, you won't face any, problems getting an offer letter from the university and also going to going to Australia as international students. Also, if you're applying for a public, private university, keep a backup option in a public university where they will have more cap, more number of cap to absorb international students. Now I'm going to talk about the universities and the programs that you can apply in Australia. So Australia, the main intakes are February and July. There's a minor intake in September, November, but not all the universities and all the programs are offered in this intake. So when you take about deadlines, there are no strict deadline for international students for Australian universities. There may be rough deadlines, but it's better to, keep at least 2 to 3 months prior to the course starting date to start your application journey. I'll tell you the exact timeline in a couple of slides ahead. So these are some programs that you can apply in Australia. So if you take Deakin University, one of the top universities in Australia, top 1% universities in the world, and you can apply. They have Master of Public Health, Master of Health Economics, Master of Health Management, Master of Health Promotion. And if you take La Trobe University, we have Master of Public Health, Master of Digital Health, Health Administration, Health Science, Western Sydney University, Master of Health Science, Health Service Management, University of Tasmania, Public Health, Medical Science, Healthcare Redesign, and Health Service Management. Likewise, these are some options that you can apply in Australia. Like Federation University, Torrens University, University of Canberra, Griffith University, James Cook University, Kaplan Business School, and IIBIT offering Federation University programs. So these are some accreditation and professional bodies in Australia for these areas of studies. Like you can see the program pages of these universities to see whether it is accredited or not. So almost all the universities in Australia, they do provide a scholarship depending on your academic merits. So for example, if you have more than 75% of your GPA, you can apply to Deakin University, this 25% scholarship. Likewise, there are some entry requirements for this scholarship. But if you have a good GPA, you can get a good scholarship. So I will not talk about the program in details. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at the end of the presentation. So admissions and GS requirements. So these are the usual, like the expenses in your education journey. Usually the annual tuition fee will ranging from 30 to 45,000 AUD per annum. And the living cost requirement is 29,710. scholarship. You can, there are up to 100% scholarship. And these are the highlighted ones are the expenses that you have to bear before you travel to Australia. That means you have to pay initial first semester tuition fee before you go to Australia. And also you have to take overseas student health cover, which is around 700 per year. And you have embassy fee, mean the visa fee is 1,600 AUD. This is the admission cycle, right? So this is the admission life cycle. So once you submit your application, you can get your offer letter within 2 weeks. And after getting the offer letter, there's a screening process called GS, Genuine Student Requirement. So for that process, it will also again take around 2 weeks, and the visa processing time currently it's around 8 weeks, 1 to 3 months. So altogether, it will take at least 3 months for your application journey. So if you're trying to apply for February intake, at least you should start by December first week, right? So I'll stop this presentation now. And if you have questions, we can take this at the end of the session.
Thank you, Mr. Chirath, for your expertise on the field. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Maheshika Wanyarachi, Senior Coordinator at Edgar International, to talk about navigating ANC exams and medical practices in Australia. Dr. Maheshika. Dr. Maheshika. Dr. Maheshika, can you hear me? At the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in a chat box or Q&A. You're welcome to drop any questions, any inquiries you have.
Yeah, actually, if you have any questions regarding programs, what these programs might lead and what these programs, really about, you can drop those questions in the chat box. I'm happy to answer any of these questions.
Yeah, I'm inviting everyone to, if you have any questions, feel join in. At the meantime, there's some technical errors, so I would like to invite our next Dr. Maheshika.
Sorry.
No worries. It's over to you, Doctor.
Yes. Can I share the screen, Chameli?
Yeah, sure.
Now, I think you can see my slides.
Yes, Doctor, we can see.
Okay. Yeah. Can you see?
Yes, Doctor, we can see.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Hello. It's still good morning. Good morning. I'm Dr. Maheshika on behalf of EdCare International. As you know, this is all about, the webinar is all about this master's program, but I'm going to add a little value on this, since you all are, I think all of you are medical professionals, doctors, so you should get some value added things with my presentation. So this is about, not per se a comprehensive presentation on AMZ exams, but I'm going to give some tips to you now, since you all are planning to migrate to Australia through a master's program. So what is the connection between doing masters in Australia and AMC exams, and to practice medical practitioners in Australia, practice as a doctor in Australia? Yeah. So there are few assessment pathways to register for international medical graduates, right? So when you are from, your qualification is from another country, not in Australia or New Zealand, so there are few pathways, assessment pathways. So those are as follows. As you can see, this is one is competent authority pathway, and standard pathway, and specialist pathway. So standard pathway, I have not put a link here because AMC comes under that pathway. That is one assessment. How do they assess you to practice as a doctor in Australia? So these two pathways, competent authority and specialist pathways, there are, when you go to this official website, Australia Medical Council, you can see all these. So if just I all these pathways are there. Yes. So let me go to standard, and also you can see, like, you can check which pathway suits you, right? Which pathway suits you. That if you are a specialist, it's a different pathway, and if you are a so I will come to that point. So when you go to the Australia Medical Council official website, you can choose. There is a kind of a chart. You can see which pathway is more suitable for you. Yeah. Can you see this slide?
Yes, doctor, we can see.
Yeah, see, I hope you can see this chart. I have completed my prime. This is how you should select which pathway will suit for me when you are an international medical graduate, right? If your qualification is not from, if it is not from Australia or New Zealand, so it's like that only. You can see all these yeses and nos, then you will see where you will be end up. So likewise, you will select, okay, now which pathway? Am I going to take competency authority or specialized or standard? Right. So what I'm going to do is, I will talk about, since I was asked to give little tips about this AMC, most of you must be knowing, most of you who are here today must have done your AMC or thinking of it, or most of you, or maybe you have just thinking, I want to migrate to Australia, which is the best way. So as Charita said, he explained clearly the options, why you should select masters. And what I'm going to do is, when with masters, I will tell how you can, because even if you go to Australia as a student to study a master's program, after that you want to practice, you want to rest of the career, you want to become a, now you have a MBBS degree or any other medical degree, then you want to complete your, continue your career as a medical practitioner. So one pathway is standard pathway, where AMC comes in, right? So when should you prepare for AMC? Before graduation. There may be medical students, I'm not sure whether in this crowd medical students, but during your medical school, during your undergraduate period, you may be a local graduate or maybe a foreign graduate, you can prepare for AMC. But to sit for AMC, you have to have a valid recognized degree. But preparation you can do. After graduation, also you can prepare. Now, I think in this crowd, most of you are with a qualification, a medical qualification. So you can prepare for AMC after graduation when you are doing your internship. If you are a local graduate, maybe after graduation, yes, you will straight away, you will do your internship. Or maybe some foreign graduates, they are doing their internship in some other country. Or some foreign graduates who have come to Sri Lanka and they are preparing for this exam to do the internship. And last thing is after graduation, while doing masters in Australia. So this is most important for you all, this target group. Yeah, preparation for AMC part 1. There are a few steps. First, you can see all these things are there in the official website of Australia Medical Council. You have to verify the eligibility, whether your medical school, medical university, your degree or diploma, is it recognized? Then you have to prepare a portfolio, make a profile on AMC website. Then you have to book a date. So if you are prepared, if you are well prepared during your undergraduate period, just after your graduation, before doing internship, you can sit for AMC part 1 without wasting any time. Right? So you don't need to complete an internship to sit for AMC, but you need to do the internship to apply for a job. What next? Now, once you complete AMC, as you know, there are 2 parts, part 1, part 2. Part 1 is a CAT MCQ examination. After you complete that, your status will show that you are eligible for clinical, which is an OSCE, part 2, right? So there you can schedule your dates. And also I have highlighted this PESCI. I think there's a speaker here today, 2 speakers. One will tell her true story, which pathway she has chosen, and I think she will more explain about this PESCI. I mean, not the whole thing, but the way she did it, right? So PESCI is something, once you have done your AMC part 1, because as we speak like this, it's not part 2 is, some may think it's too complicated for me, time consuming, I can't do that thing. So okay, then you can choose this PESCI, which leads to GP pathway. You want to become a general practitioner, you can follow this. So right, what should you do after passing AMC clinical examination? This means part 2. After that, you are eligible for general registration. There is provincial registration and general registration. So after part 2, you are eligible for general registration. How can you apply for a job after obtaining general registration? As you all know, Australian Health Practitioner Regulatory Authority, you have to get registered to practice. So there are 2 options for working as a doctor in Australia. Hospital pathway, where you complete AMC part 1 and part 2. GP pathway, as I told you, it's after doing PESCI. So are you planning to continue your medical career in Australia? I think yes. That is why you are here. You participated in this webinar. So my 3 questions are you a medical graduate, just passed out, not completed internship? Maybe. Yeah, maybe there are a few who has just passed out, maybe not completed internship, and maybe some are there who completed internship, or some maybe they are post-intern period, working as doctor with several years of experience in different fields. Yeah. Then why waste your time? Are you still thinking? Answer is here. You have the answer. What is your answer? Your options: complete AMC in Sri Lanka while studying for ERPM, while doing your internship, or while working as a doctor. Apply for a master's degree in Australia, prepare and sit for AMC while you are in Australia. Don't get confused. So why I am talking about what is the benefit, why AMC in Australia? If you do a master's, if you go for a master's degree, and while you are in Australia, maybe you are a dependent, or maybe you are the person who went for the master's degree, whatever, once you are in that place, you know, after, yes, you can prepare for AMC, but make sure you have to complete your internship that is there. So once you are doing your AMC in Australia, benefits are there. Why? You are in that setup. You are within that environment. Okay. It's easy to do the AMC and you get all these up. It's not like, you know, you get up to date things you refer to, you know, the setup is totally different, as you know. And also the job opportunities, it's more easy. I think those two speakers will tell you very you will be very clear about it. They will tell how did they get these opportunities, job opportunities. It's easy to apply while you are in the country. So as you know, so many are there who has done AMC here and just waiting for getting a job opportunity. It's not easy. So best way is go there, get registered for a master's degree, go there and do your AMC. So on behalf of EdCare International, we are there. We have I will show you the website. So this is, you know, why I said masters benefited. What are the factors to be considered? Why masters first? Those are the reasons, as I told you. You are in that environment. You are in that learning environment. You are in that country. It's easy for you to try for jobs. So when you take this master's opportunity, you go there, you will get into the stream, you will start studying for AMC also. Then this is because you want to practice as a medical practitioner, right? So these are the factors to be considered. Like, you will get job opportunities. It's very easy to get while you are in the country. And we are here, EdCare International. As you see, we have all these programs. Even from here or from there, you can join. We are there to support. We have programs. We have 6 months programs, and we are starting 1 year program, and we have revision programs. All these things are there. So the message is, you should not, when you are in this, you will not waste your time, right? Once you go with a master's, this is why I wanted to give some value added message through these things. And AMC, it's a different, like, you know, if you talk about AMC fully, it's a different webinar, but I'm just going to give you some insights only. I hope this was useful for you, and definitely with the 2 other next speakers, you will understand why I was talking all these things. I was giving these insights. So good luck to you all. Right thinking is the best thing. Right thinking, that is the path to success. It's not only thinking, act accordingly, think first, then your right action should be there. And for right actions, you have so many opportunities, you have so many resources. Then you will get the outcome which is right for you, not for others, right for you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for your insightful details. And next, I would like to invite Dr. Lianti Apa Bandara, Doctor of Medicine, Russia, to explain her life journey in Australia and the support she got from Rec Campus. Over to you, Dr. Lianti.
Hi, Chameli. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Doctor.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Lianti. I'm currently I'm a medical officer currently living in Victoria, Australia. I was invited by the Russian Education Center to share my experiences about my AMC and my journey to Australia. So if I tell you my experiences, I started as a medical student in 12th State Medical Academy, Russia, where I studied for 6 years with the support and guidance of the Russian Education Center. They were a pillar of strength and they guided through our student life as well. And after coming to Sri Lanka, I completed my ERPM exam. And then I worked as a medical officer in different specialties and different areas of Sri Lanka. And last year, we migrated to Australia. My husband, who is also a medical officer, he got a ED registrar post, and we migrated to Australia. He did AMC Part 1 when he was in Sri Lanka and got the job as ED registrar, and we came to Australia. But I did my AMC after coming to Australia. I came on dependent visa, and then I did my AMC Part 1 here, and then I was applying for jobs from here. What I wanted to tell you is, one point I wanted to highlight is AMC is a very doable exam. If you have good guidance and if you have good support, maybe follow a good course, it's a very doable exam. And another point I wanted to highlight from our experiences is that we have both sides experience. My husband got his job from offshore and I applied from onshore. And we felt that applying for jobs when you are actually in Australia was much easier. If you have ever applied for, if you have done AMC and if you have ever applied for jobs, you might notice that most of the hospitals, they ask, what is your visa category? They give priority, like first they will give for Australian citizens, then the PR holders, then the dependent visas, the study visas. And if you have noticed, the 482 visa category that we apply from offshore, it comes towards the end of the list. So it's unless you are coming for a training position or your CV is very good, your clinical is very good and competent, and if you are very qualified, it's we have noticed that it's quite difficult to find a job from offshore. But when you are, I came as a dependent, but when you are inshore, when you're actually in Australia, you can go and talk to the practices, the hospitals, and then it's easier. From my perspective, I found that it's easier to find employment when you are actually in Australia. So if I am to talk a little bit about living in Australia, now we have been living here for almost 1 month, one year. And what I like most about living and working in Australia is the work-life balance and the quality of life that we get, which is quite good compared to what we had in Sri Lanka. Here, the work is also good, the supportive, the salaries. Actually, doctors have one of the highest paying salary grades. So you can live a very comfortable life here. And the cities, the infrastructure, everything is very good and quite supportive. From a doctor's salary, whatever you earn, it's more than enough to lead a very comfortable life here. So if you are coming here, even in study visa, I feel that if you are in Australia, if you want to pursue your career in that perspective as a Master of Public Health, if you want, then you can go on that pathway. But if you really want to practice as a medical practitioner, you can do the AMC Part 1. Then while staying in Australia, you can find employment. The employment is ample, the opportunities are ample if you are in Australia. That's one of the points I want to highlight. And I think I have told whatever my experience and my perspectives are. So I wish all of my colleagues who are attending this webinar all the best for their AMC, the journey to Australia. Thank you very much, Russian Education Center, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing your experience with us and joining with us today. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Veeni Wickramarashee, who's currently working as a general practitioner in Melbourne, Australia. to explain her experience and support from Rec Campus. Dr. Veeni.
Hi, thank you. Dr. Layanthi has given a very good outline regarding the migration and her experience. I'm here to share my experience too. First of all, I want to thank the organizers of Rec Campus for inviting me to share my experience with you. All the previous speakers, including Dr. Maheshika, have given a great outline regarding the pathways that you can follow to come to Australia. And so my experience is I have been graduated from local university from Sri Lanka. And now while I was doing internship, I did AMC. As Dr. Layanthi said, that this is a very doable exam. I feel that you all are very lucky to have the support from Rec Campus, because they have all the support you need for AMC. AMC Part 1 is a doable exam, so you can do it while you're doing internship or just after you finish internship and even before your internship. So AMC Part 1. So I only done AMC Part 1 and PESCI to join here in Australia in the GP sector. So you can directly join to the GP sector if you're not having much experience in hospital sectors. You can come to the GP setup. After I came here, with the experience I have gained from here, and while waiting for the job offer to come, it's very, we have competition, as Dr. Layanthi said, when we apply offshore. I have been applying offshore for years until I get a job offer, but it's very difficult. But it's lucky when you have some method to come here in Australia, and you have chances more widen to apply all the job opportunities, because the employers do like to give you job offer because they don't have to bother in your visa. Again, I want to just to highlight that with the experience I have gained, because here when you are applying to AFRA registration, they usually look for the experiences. Usually to join as a GP, they require 3 years or more experience in GP setup. If you're planning to come just after internship or before internship even, so it will be better if you come here and apply to the job opportunities. So you have a more chance to get the job opportunities. So I'm not going to highlight about the pathways which you already know. So this is my experience. So I have been here for like 1 year. I'm new to here, but from the experience I've gained, I can highlight this thing. And also, I wish all the best for all of my colleagues and to make it a success, because coming here and applying for job opportunities usually takes time. But if you come via a student visa or whichever visa you can obtain and come here and apply for job opportunities, you will be recruited soon. Okay, I'm wishing you all the best, and thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Doctor, to share for sharing your experience and helping with this webinar. And thank you all our speakers for their insightful information. And now we reach our Q&A portion of the webinar. I invite all of you to drop your concerns, questions, everything on our Q&A box or chat box. We will be more than happy to help you to solve your questions and give answers. Actually, we got 2 questions already. First one is, what are the advantages of coming to Australia on a student visa? Mr. Chirag, can you help with that?
Yeah, thanks, Shamali. So actually, the main advantages going as an international student to Australia. First, in order to get the post-study work, right, you should study a minimum 2-year program in Australia. So during that program, you are eligible to do part-time work placement. So you will get 24 hours per week to get a job. To do a part-time job, that means almost 100 hours per month. And during designated vacations, such as summer vacation, Christmas vacation, you can work full-time. This is during the study period. So after the study period, you are eligible to get the post-study work, right, which is 2 to 3 years. This is an open work permit where you can engage in any job. So there's no restriction to do any particular job. This is an open work permit where you can engage in any kind of work full-time. So if you are going with a dependent, during the study period, the dependent can work full-time, right? So there's no restriction for them. And during the post-study work, right, also they can work full-time. So actually, going as the international students, you will be having, you are able to recover your living cost definitely. And if you're going with your partner, if you're going with a dependent, you can easily recover your tuition fee as well. And also, since you are already in Australia, applying for a job is much more easier, because the employers doesn't need to worry about your visa status, whether you are getting a visa or not. And also, since you are in Australia and you know the culture and you know the community and you are having connections, so it's easier for you to find these jobs and apply for these jobs. And also, some people might help you in order to get into these jobs. So going to Australia as an international student would help you a lot, rather than doing it from offshore.
Thank you, Mr. Chirag. There's another question. It's about what happened to vacancy of practice when you go for MPH and apply for jobs.
Actually, it won't be a gap, because you will be completing a qualification which is related to your field of study. So Master of Public Health is a area that that will help you to advance your career, not as a gap, because this is mostly about knowing health promotion, health prevention. This is prevention. So these will be helpful when you are doing your job. So this will not come as a gap. This will be the time you enhance your qualification and excel yourself for the next placement.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Chirag.
Chameli, 1 minute. Yeah, I totally agree with Charit. I totally agree with Charit, because public health is something like now these doctors, you don't ever think that this is something like, why should we do, like then we will miss something in the clinical. No, nothing. It is an advancement. Exactly, Charit. I'm totally agreed. Then it will be something, it will mold you. It will give some added value to your career when you practice as a clinician, as a doctor in Australia, definitely.
Thank you, Dr. Maheshika. There's another question is, I am with the AMC Part 1 qualification. Can I apply for doctor's job in New Zealand with that, or do I need to do more exams? Dr. Maheshika, do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, I think Vinavi, you have something to say about this thing? Because like AMC Part 1, with AMC Part 1, the question is whether she can apply to work in New Zealand, right, Chameli?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about it, Chameli,
Okay.
but according to my knowledge, Vinavi, you have anything to add? It's after getting this MC Part 1, you can apply jobs in Australia. It's not in New Zealand for sure. Yeah, it's not in New Zealand.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. There's another question about asking what are the master's degrees that we can do.
Okay. Chameli, let me share my screen again with that program page. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Mr.
Right. So these are the related programs for the health in the healthcare industry. So Master of Public Health, Health Economics, Health Management, Health Promotion, also Digital Health, Health Administration, Healthcare Redesign, Health Service Management. I'll show you some of the course content of these programs. So if you take Master of Public Health, these are the things that you'll be covering in this program. So public health practice, health promotion, health economics and management, public health nutrition, humanitarian assistance, disability and inclusion. And if you take health economics, it will be more towards the management side, administrative side of these healthcare industry. So resource allocation, economic modeling and evaluation. So especially if you are into budgeting of an, a hospital or like any healthcare institute. So this is one of the program that you will, that will assist you in order to, do the budgeting, resource allocation, and, financial planning. Also, if you are into the management or administrative side of the industry, leadership and the management would be a thing that you can, enhance your job and also assist your job. Also, Master of Health Promotion is another program that you can apply in Australia as a part of your student journey. So I think this will be helpful for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chirag. I would like to invite, do you have any other questions? Feel free to ask. I'll give you a few more minutes. Okay, since there are no more questions, of course, you can contact us, the campus, for more information and any details regarding the programs, opportunities, and all that. And I would like to thank you, all of our speakers, who share their knowledge and expertise. And the audience, I would like to thank you for joining with us today and help with us to make this webinar a success. And again, before we wrap up, I would like to invite you all to, if you have any questions, any problems, feel free to directly contact us on our campus. Our hotline is 0711101010. And thank you once again joining us. We are looking forward to seeing you at our next event. And thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you, everyone.